Hello, my name is Ozzie Red Elk. I'm a candidate for the Comanche Tribe Secretary and Treasurer. And I am currently an employee at the Comanche Tribe. I've worked for the Comanche Tribe over 35 years. I've had experience in almost every area of the tribe. I've worked for every chairman from James Cox to now and every committeeman, so I'm fairly well acquainted with the laws and the constitution of our tribe. My parents are Ozzie Red Elk, one of the code talkers, and my mother is Roberta Red Elk Atchevit, and they're both from Cotton County. They're Walters and Temple, Oklahoma, where I was raised. I've been married for 29 years. I have 4 children, 3 girls and 1 boy. And I look forward to helping the tribe in any way I can as Secretary and Treasurer. And hopefully if I get in there, we can find a lot of unanswered questions that a lot of Comanche people have been asking me about. Because I've been around for quite a while, so I know the ins and outs of the tribe and of our government. And I've seen the problems and some of the good, so it works both ways. So my ambition is to get in there and help and prosper more our tribe, to get maybe into other fields than gaming, so we can have other job opportunities for our tribe. Like I said before, my name is Ozzie Red Elk, and I'm from Walters, Oklahoma. I was raised there. I graduated from high school there in Walters. I graduated with an associate's degree in education from Haskell Indian Junior College, and I went on there to Wichita, Kansas, where I graduated with a bachelor's degree in minority studies. Since then, I've worked for the tribe.
What are your qualifications for running for the Comanche Business Committee?
I believe I'm qualified in all the areas because of my experience with the tribe. The tribe, when I came to work for the tribe, had 3 employees. And when our job was to begin to rebuild, the tribe was shut down over some controversy back in the 80s. So I came aboard and worked for what they called the 20% program then. My main objective our duty was to help rebuild the tribe, to help to get the federal programs back, especially the Bureau of Indian Affairs, Education, Social Service, and so on. And I was there, and we got through that, and we got most of the programs back. From then, I went into our education programs once we started contracting. And I was 22 years as the program director there. And I handled grants for the school kids, college kids. And I worked with several different colleges, several different businesses, and several different government and federal agencies in education to help our students. Also, I worked as a manager of the Red River Casino when it first began. And through there, I learned a lot, kind of grown with the casino business, because it just was beginning, and we were just learning, and we grew from the trailer house where I was at to the new casino and big hotel and casino we have now. I've done budgeting for financial-wise budgets. I understand budgets, especially budgets, all kinds, fairly well. I've had no problem with budget. As any program I've directed or worked in, I've never had a disallowed cost or any kind of restrictions put on my program for misuse of funds or misuse of program guidelines. And so I'm fairly well knowledgeable of any budgets, especially federal budgets. And like I say, I worked as a compliance officer, which I knew I've learned most of the federal guidelines and rules that are now that we now have to use as our program. And one of my objectives is that is as I started out as a compliance officer was to get our tribe off of high risk, which the tribe is now still in high risk. It's something that a lot of people don't understand, so I won't try to explain it. But high risk it sets us back a little bit on contracting and getting other government projects. But one of my goals is to work and get us off of a high risk status. The other thing too, I want to work, or I have the background and then knowledge of to go into the casinos and look at the management, look at how they're spending and kind of draw a conclusion why they're spending and so much one way and not the right way, as I could say, because it seems like there's a lot of controversy on what is going on within the financing or the finances of our casinos. I'm very knowledgeable of those, and I think I can go into the casino and come out with some of the answers that our people are looking for. With those are just a few of my qualifications for this position. Along with, like I said before, I worked with every committeeman and every chairman since this tribe was put together. And I know that my advantage is I know a lot of the tribal people. I know their situations, their needs, and what we can do to help. And for now, I think that qualifies me quite a bit. But my basic thing is this: my 35 years of experience directly with tribal people, tribal programs, tribal government.
What changes, if any, do you want to make for the tribe?
The main change I looked at over the years is in the casinos. You know, I don't really want to spend all my time in the casinos, but I had a great part in putting the casinos together with Chairman Walkway back then. And you know, as before it was even ground was broke, you know, our dream or our wishes was that our casino, as it grew, our tribal people would grow with it. We would train our people to work and run our casinos. We would train them to work in the casinos to have a comfortable salary. And to me, over the last 10 years or so, that hasn't happened. Our casinos are doing well, but money-wise, I would say. But as for helping our tribal people or employment-wise, no. It just that seems like what I would go in and try to do is change the personnel policies or hiring policies. They seem to hinder our tribal employees, our tribal people, when they apply for a job, disallowing them for the job or disqualifying them for such things as credit checks and other things that I don't really feel is necessary to do the job that they do. But my main thing was to get our people into these higher places in the casinos so they can make the money that the casinos are bringing in, other than going out of the two other tribal members or non-Indians as a whole.
What are your goals for your 3-year term, and what is your time frame to accomplish the goals?
My goal is to stop unnecessary spending. I've looked at the spending as an employee and as a former casino manager, and I've just witnessed a lot of unnecessary spending, and this is one of my goals, is to curtail that spending, to better spend so we can have more money and for services for our people and hire and raise our per capita payment. Seems like that seems to be the problem. Right now is the raising our per cap to 60% from 40%, which is not been able to be done. But I feel like we can raise our per cap by other means, and which is watching our spending. Do not spend unnecessarily stuff at our casinos, because all the spending we do from a casino is deducted from the profits of the casino. And what we do, our per cap is supposed to be based on 40% of the profits. So you got to the higher the profits, the higher our per cap should be. And I don't know if this has been done or not, but I feel like if I can work on lowering the cost of the unnecessary spending that we're going to, and I see a lot of unnecessary spending, and I believe I can step in and stop some of the unnecessary spending as one of my goals, and be able to hire more people. But yet the other goal is to employ more Comanches. I look out here at the Comanches and the years I've worked out here, and I see that a lot of the hiring is not based on qualifications, and Comanches don't have priority, and they should. I feel like they should be the first ones in line for the jobs, and they should be able to compete in a fair and in an unbiased review. I know you go in for an interview and everything, and basically you can tell if you're going to be hired or not. I applied for several jobs, and right now I think if every time a position comes open, I can look at the people who apply for the job and look at the people who is on the select board, and I can tell you who will be hired. They just got a system, and it really needs to be. My goal is to see that the hiring and firing of our tribe employees goes back into the hands of the human service, the HR program. That's where it should be. It seems like it's lost its way out of there, and people are hired and fired through other means.
What are your 2 top culturally motivated goals, and how will you accomplish them within your term?
Again, my top goal is to raise more funding, bring more funding into the tribe for our people, for more services. And especially, it's one of them is to look at the homeless and the needy. I hope by accomplishing that by cutting a lot of unnecessary spending and a lot of unnecessary travel and training, which is not needed. I feel like in some places it needs to be curbed. My objective is to get people out of the poverty status, and especially those that are harmless. And I just don't feel comfortable with the system we have now to help all of our people in need. And that would be one of my goals in the 3 years, is to come up with some type of program or some kind of system that will help our people with these outrageous electric bills and other costs and school costs that we go through. And also, I want to look at the hiring process of our tribal members. I want to make it a priority and to accomplish this in 3 years, that our Comanche members have a priority over the job positions they apply for. If they meet the qualifications, I feel like they should get the job over non-Comanches that also meet the qualifications. We just need a better system of hiring and firing our employees, and that'd be one of my other accomplishments. The other accomplishment I like to see is more training, to have more education made available to some of our students, to see that I know the cost of tuition and everything's gone up, and we need to look at those people and give them that extra little boost, to get them through their school. And that's what I'd like to do is look at a lot of our policies. I look at our programs are like 2 programs. Every one of them has a federal budget that they go by, and then they have the gaming budgets they go by. And the gaming budgets are usually quite higher than the federal budgets. So more or less, the rules do not have to be that strenuous. As of now, most of the programs will use their federal guidelines also as their 20% as their gaming guidelines, which I feel is not necessary. I feel like the gaming money should be set aside for those who are not eligible for the federal money, and then they have a means of applying for these grants and a means of getting the support they need to get through college. You know, the more we can help them, the more better off they will be, and keep them out of our social service system. But that's our main goal. Is to stop the spending. That's the main goal. And the others is to work on the services for the people and educate the authorities, to educate them to where they can help themselves. And that hopefully would take more than 3 years, but I'll do my best to do it in 3 years.